r/ask Reddit. What is easy to get into but hard to get out of? Bed. I have to set an alarm for every 5 minutes so I actually wake up. If I don't do that I ignore the first one and sleep another 1 or 2 hours. Me too. LOL, it got the point I hit snooze while being asleep. I was late to work too often. Now I have my iPad across the room. It rings once and gets me out of bed to turn it off. Problem solved. Debt. Especially high risk loans when you are poor. Seeing those interest rates and knowing people get away with pushing those kinds of loans make me sick. Do not take on debt if you do not have to. If you do, pay it off as quickly as you can. And knowing people get away with pushing those kinds of loans make me sick. I have fallen victim to these people by being naive and not understanding the full picture. Getting out of debt with extremely high interest rates is incredibly hard and right now it seems impossible. My minimum payments barely cover the interest, so the actual debt isn't going anywhere. I have a friend who recently made a post about how her student loans started at $34k and over the years she's paid $15k towards them and they're down to $31k. How this is legal is beyond my comprehension. Jail. Rolling a double isn't that hard, right? If I remember anything from maths, it is a 1-stroke 6-shot. Reddit. Closes Reddit on desktop, picks up phone, opens Reddit app every ducking day. Browse Reddit until I can't remember how long I've browsed Reddit. Get upset with myself and close Reddit, telling myself I'll browse another site. Immediately open Reddit again. Apparently, my college alumni association. I haven't paid annual dues for the past 2 years. I keep telling them to take me off their mailing lists, but I keep getting their travel adventure brochures and their fundraising solicitations. My college kept calling me to do these useless surveys where you couldn't actually tell them what they did right wrong. So the last time they called I told them I was dead and that we were keeping the line open to inform family friends. I was in the back office with a couple co-workers. One is now my partner, and they started laughing so I started chortling and had to pass it off like I was crying. Good times. They haven't called back. If they produce an alumni newsletter, you'll probably be listed as deceased. The wrong career. I'll just do this for a few months to help pay the bills. 10 years later, shit. Oh god, I need to get out of my job. But you need to pay the bills. Hotel California. Damn it, stole my joke. A cult. But the leader said we can opt out at any time. You have more fun as a follower, but make more money as a leader. Corvettes, Lotuses, really any low-slung sports car. The amount of grunting involved to clamber out of mine really ruins the cool factor at it. I'm not old, fat or tall. I have no excuse. Jeremy Clarkson IRL. A bad sleeping pattern. Help. Semicolon. I heard turning on white noise and exercising your eyes can help you fall asleep, and or use melatonin to help you fall asleep. Your hand out of a Pringles can. I want to have a daughter, so I can finally have someone around the house who can fit their hand inside of a Pringles can. A romantic relationship you made with a friend. Edit. Yay, my first gold. Getting out of that relationship with the friendship intact is the really hard part. It didn't work for me. 2 of my friends recently broke up with each other, but they remain cordial. What made that work out was that they included checkpoints in their relationship, a meeting once every couple months or so where they would sit down and discuss their feelings, the way they thought the relationship would go, conflicts, etc. After a year, they agreed that the relationship wasn't going the right way and decided to break up, but it was one of the healthiest relationships I've ever seen. Someone told me once, a successful relationship doesn't always end in marriage. My friends definitely learned how to respect people and be honest with themselves and others during their time with one another. Hard drugs. Have watched a few friends I only do this on the weekends or special occasions habit turn into hey man, can you spot me like $100? Or them taking constant short trips to the bathroom whenever we are out. Can happen quicker than you think. Edit. For added clarity, I'm largely referring to meth, heroin, prescription drugs, cocaine. I personally do not consider the psychedelics to be hard drugs in the same sense as the aforementioned substances. While they are certainly more potent than things like weed, their potential for abuse and negative long-term side effects are relatively low. I drink a lot of water. I'm going to be paranoid about my bathroom habits now. Just tell everyone you're doing heroin and sell it with a wink and finger guns. A Chinese finger trap. Reminded me of the episode from Dexter's Laboratories. Reminds me of that scene with Data from Street, TNG. Credit card debt. Credit card debt. When they call I tell them I can't pay it back yet. Credit card debt. Oh well. An abusive relationship. And way harder than it needs to be to get over them. Even though she hurt me physically and mentally, I still wanted to be with her for far longer than any reasonable person should have. Thank Duck that chapter in life is done. Edit. Okay, so wow, this really blew up. Just a reminder, there are services for men who are abused even though they're few and far between. Please don't deal with abuse just because it's the manly thing to do. No one deserves abuse. Please seek help. Man, I just got out of a real shit thing. But I had a serious long thing before that was amazing. I think because I had the good thing before, it really helps just say yeah, duck this relationship. It's awful and not really feel a lot about losing it. As long as it's not you that sucks. Their behavior is going to follow them through their relationships. And ducking rot whatever relationship they find. They will always be in pain unless they change their shit. But you can be free, so ducking free, and you can just be sad instead of being sad and ducked with. That is a better sad to have. Anyone reading this, go for the better sad. It's a more meaningful sad than needless suffering. Make your suffering ducking mean something. Your finger in a lid straw hole. American finger trap. We've all made this grave mistake. Marriage. It's cheap to get married but extremely taxing both money-wise and emotionally to get out of it. It's cheap to get married, you excluded the wedding itself I guess. You don't have to do a big expensive ceremony. You can get married for like $80. And my Arta. I need to lose weight. I'm 240 pounds and 6 feet tall, I agree. Unless the top is off down. Then I just stand up and step over the door. Learn to drive stick in one. I'm 5 feet 2 inches and I can't imagine anyone taller than me fitting comfortably. Depression. LOL, just stop being depressed. Bad eating habits. I used to eat pretty healthy portion sizes when my mom prepared all food, but then eventually as I moved out and started cooking my own dinners I'd cook more, so we could eat more. Now I'm overweight, and trying to get back down, and doing pretty good at it, but getting back into healthier foods and smaller, normal portion sizes is hell. It's a real struggle with willpower 3 times every day, and every time I eat I wish I never let my good habits slip. They were easy to maintain but miserable to get used to again. We have such a warped view on portions nowadays. I think the fast food race to the bottom got us here. Look at all this crap you can get for $5. Sometimes I'll make food at home and think that just doesn't look like enough. I've trained myself to eat a smaller portion, have a glass of water and wait a few minutes before I decide if I need more. I'm one of 5 children, so before moving out it was always easy to control. We would just run out of food. The ball pit they used to have at McDonald's when you were a kid. Super easy to jump in, but getting out was tougher. Speaking personally, I've always found that the easiest method of exiting the ball pit is to bury oneself, thrash around, scream that you're being eaten by a shark, then wait for someone, be they one of the employees or the parent of a child who has just been reduced to tears, to inform your father that you're causing a scene, at which point he will reach in and drag you out. I haven't tried it in several years, but I assume that the strategy still works. I just tried this. My dad did not come to save me, and after 3 managers pulled me out I was informed 37-year-old men are not welcome in the ball pit and I am banned from the establishment. I would rethink your strategy. Poverty. Skyrim. Doesn't help that there's invisible walls and a message that says you can't go that way when you try. Plus, even if you manage to get out, all it takes is one night where you forget to board your windows or lock your panic room door to go to sleep safe and you wake up in a cart on your way to Helgen. Todd Howard is a sneaky mother ducker. TV tropes. The following is a list of things that are easy to get into, but difficult to get out of. An outing to the La Brea Tar Pits. A car with all of the other people going to the La Brea Tar Pits. The La Brea Tar Pits. The jail cell you find yourself in after getting out of the La Brea Tar Pits. The court date you're expected to keep after being released from the jail cell. The community service sentence you're expected to serve for peeing in the La Brea Tar Pits. TL. Doctor, the socks you were wearing during your misadventure at the La Brea Tar Pits. Smoking. Started smoking when I was 14 just because my friends did and I thought it was cool. 18 years later I'm still smoking and wish I'd never started. So hard to give up once you get hooked. My skinny jeans. They go on. But at the end of the day they always get stuck around my calves and ankles. Off. Damn you. Work is over and it's time to hang out in my undies. League of Legends. Was an addict for 4 years and I recently stopped playing it. Edit. A lot of you asked why was this bad and there are many reasons. Just to mention some. I've spent more than €200 during the 4 years on the game. That's not that much but still. And the game had an impact on my studies and social life, and when I wasn't in the game I was planning builds and counterpicks in my head. It's still hard not to back to the game, but fortunately I've found other non-addictive games and got non-gaming related hobbies. Former WoW addict. Give someone your account info. Tell them to change everything then stop talking to them. The European Union. It's not easy to get into if you're not in Western Europe. GIM. Addiction. Took 2 years in prison to get out of addiction, and still have 5 years until I'm off paper. Escapism. Video games, books, movies. When you spend enough time living another life through these veins, it gets harder to live through yours. Astronomer here. An event horizon, aka boundary around a massive object, like a black hole, becomes so great that escape is impossible. Nothing is stopping you from going into one. But once you're there you're sure as hell never coming back out. There are a lot of weird things that would also make it tough for you at an event horizon. But one of my favorites is called spaghettification. Actual science term. Basically if you approach an event horizon around a smaller black hole, there are such extreme tidal forces that there would literally be a notable difference in gravity between your head and your toes. This difference basically would stretch you out into a thin strand of spaghetti, hence the name. A drug habit. Factorio. Magic the Gathering. Started with a booster box where everyone got 6 packs, made a deck, and had a tournament. I found opening cards fun. I got destroyed, and I've spent thousands on it since then. IKEA. Quicksand. Multi-level marketing schemes. A deep hole. Whoa, you made it to the end? You're a ducking beast. I'll cut you a deal. Smash like and subscribe for more curated content, bruh. It's free and that's a great price.